We have to recognize, I'm talking about law enforcement, first and foremost, we're public servants. That's it. We exist to serve our citizens. That is our mission. My name is Jeff Hughes, and I am the sheriff here in Williamson County. I've got 40 years in law enforcement. I went right to college out of high school, graduated from Fairview High School, went to Middle Tennessee State University, and I started out at the Fairview Police Department, which is my hometown here in Williamson County, in 1983. Started out as a dispatcher. I immediately knew at that moment that this is what I'm going to do for my career. My grandfathers on both sides of my family had been in law enforcement. My grandfather on my father's side had actually been a deputy sheriff. My grandfather on my mother's side was a state trooper. I have a 40-acre farm. I'm a fourth-generation landowner. My great-grandfather used to run cattle on the property that I now call home. My grandfather and my father actually built the road we live on. I have 4 horses, 2 dogs, and 8 cats. So I have lots of fur babies. I love animals. I love riding horses. I think I was born maybe a few centuries too late. I always, kind of fashioned myself as a cowboy. I love old westerns. I love riding my horses on my off time. My German Shepherd's name is Cash. My Australian Shepherd's name is Merle. That's Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard. So if that tells you anything about my passion with country music, I'm just an old country boy, that spent my career in law enforcement. I took a job as a dispatcher in Fairview. Knew immediately, hey, this is it. It's what I'm going to do. Knew I wanted to move on to being a police officer, which I did in 1984. Fairview. And so in February of 1986, I was fortunate enough to be hired by the Brentwood Police Department. That started my long, storied career with Brentwood. For 4 years, I served as a police officer in Brentwood. I was promoted to detective, and for the next decade, 1990 to the year 2000, I served as an investigator, working all kind of crimes, everything from petty theft to homicide. Some very high-profile cases. Really enjoyed my time as an investigator. I worked as a lieutenant. I was promoted to captain and eventually became the assistant chief. Served under Ricky Watson. He retired in January of 2012. I was very fortunate to be named the police chief in Brentwood in January of 2012. I spent the next decade overseeing the Brentwood Police Department. What a tremendous, enjoyable experience being able to do the things that I thought needed to be done to serve the citizens of Brentwood and to support the staff at the Brentwood Police Department. I was able to justify building a new standalone police department. I was intricately involved from point A to point B, start to finish, and we built a fabulous 55,000 square foot building that was a state-of-the-art facility. We actually came in under budget, and this is a building that will sustain the citizens of Brentwood and the staff that work there for the next 3 decades or more. I did receive a call early one morning. It's the call that you never want to receive as the leader of any law enforcement organization. That was the morning that Officer Destin Legeza was hit by a drunk driver traveling in the wrong lane and killed him. That is something that no one wants to have to experience and go through. You never really heal from that. As the leader of an organization, you feel responsible for the personnel as if they're your own family, and we are an extended family in law enforcement. That was a tough day. That was a tough day. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I really make it an effort to connect with the people that I work with. I want to get to know them. I want them to know me. I want to be approachable. I want to involve people in the decision-making process. Now, I realize the buck stops with me, and when that decision needs to be made, I'm going to make it. But I love to get input. I love constructive criticism so that I'm hearing different perspectives. Let's have a conversation and let's try to learn together. In an organization this size, when you have about 350 or more employees, it's important that you communicate what's happening from this office. If you want to know the truth, just come see me, pick up the phone, call me, send me an email, and I'll tell you. I believe consistency over time lends to fairness. That's really all people want, is a fair shot. Fairness builds trust, and trust improves morale. All of these things coming together start to change your culture over time. Williamson County has historically been a safer community than our neighboring counties. You have to ask yourself, why is that? I think there's several different reasons that play into it. First and foremost, it's the criminal justice system as a whole. It's law enforcement officers doing their job and doing it well. It's high visibility. We're here, we're on guard, we're ready, we're pushing back on any bad actors that may want to bring their crime into Williamson County. And it's the justice system actually following through that in and of itself is a deterrent for these criminals. They know when they come into Williamson County, and they know if they get caught doing a crime that it's going to be harder on them than if they commit that same crime in one of our neighboring counties. That has worked well in our favor. People ask me what keeps me up at night, and we're having a lot of threats on social media about school shootings. Fortunately, we have been able to determine that these, for the most part, are hoaxes that are spreading like wildfire through social media. And we have to track those down and dispel those. Protecting our children is paramount. And so if you ask me, what's the most important thing for me, it's making sure that we have a school resource officer in every school every day, all day long. That's how we need to deploy our resources. Secondly, we need more deputies on the street. We may have one deputy per zone. That's not good enough. When I came into office, we were significantly understaffed. That's changed. In 6 months, we have made tremendous strides in improving our staffing to the point now where I feel really good about it. So we're doing a really good job on our recruitment front. I want to leave it better than I found it, obviously. That's every leader's goal. I didn't run for sheriff for my own benefit. I was perfectly content in retirement. I'm 61 years old. I feel like that I have a little gas left in the tank. I've got a little more to do. I felt like I could bring some of that experience to make this a better place. I would like to develop leaders within this organization. When I decide that I'm going to ride off into the sunset, I would love to see someone here that we have developed step up and take that challenge on. When I look at hiring deputies, I'm looking for two things. Number one is your communication skills. Do you have the skills to talk to people, not talk down to people? I'm talking about relating to people. You're going to be dealing with people in crisis, potentially the worst day of their life. Second thing I look for is what's in here. What's in your heart? Why are you doing this job? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Do you recognize that you're getting into a career of service? So this isn't about what's in it for you. This is about what you can do for others. Service above self. I love everything about Williamson County. I can't imagine living anywhere else. Everybody seems to be moving here from out of state. And there's got to be a reason for that, right? And I ask folks, why Williamson County? What is it about Williamson County? It's the hometown feel. It's the people. It's the schools. It's the low crime rate. It's just a quality of life that people desire. People want to have the ability to feel safe in the place they live, work, and play. And that's why we exist here at the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. That's our mission. I'm committed to that. It's an honor to serve as the Sheriff of Williamson County. I want to be accessible to the people. I'm not hard to find. We have to do this together. I can't do it by myself. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office cannot do it by itself. There's got to be a partnership between the community and law enforcement. We have to work together. We have to support one another to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish to keep people safe here in their hometown.